Hey, Kat.
Hi, Carol.
How you doing this week?
Pretty much fine.
Hello to the void.
I'm Kat.
And I'm Carol. And this is Pretty Much Fine, a comedy podcast about dealing with anxiety hosted by two long-distance best friends. That's us.
Yeah, that's us. That's us. That's us.
So we're actually recording this after the fact because we got a little too ambitious and went a little wild. And
mean Kat wouldn't shut the fuck up, stop interrupting you. She just kept going and going, rambling and rambling. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, that's pretty much what I mean. We went way over the time. We recorded for like close to 2 hours. So we actually, this episode 1 is going to be broken up into 2 different parts. So part 1 is going to be the story of how we met that fateful day, and
lucky a little day of your life.
Yeah, it was. And and a little background with like our history of anxiety, just a quick little synopsis of that.
The quickest synopsis you'll get of our anxiety. From here on out, you'll be like, all right, we get it. I mean, fucking Jesus, shut the fuck up.
So part 2, we're going to be just telling each other a story that we haven't told each other yet, and we'll both be like hearing it for the first time. So yeah, with that, let's go ahead and let's get into episode 1, part 1.
Woo! A little about yourself.
I love it. Okay, so I'm Caroline McGovern.
Oh shit, she's married.
Formerly known as Smith.
Formerly known as Dead Body Number 1, Caroline Smith, Jane Doe.
Hey, don't make fun of my last name.
Yeah, no, never heard of a Smith.
Anyways, so really long story to tell you guys like where I'm from. But basically, I'm from Jacksonville. I live in Charleston now with my husband Keegan and our 2 cats, Phoebe and Jack. Love them, honestly. They're our mascots.
They really are like the house studio mascots. They really are.
Already.
You will know them well. And you, we mean, who are you?
We're literally talking to them.
All of our pals.
All my imaginary friends.
Oh, I have so many. They never died. Anyway, continue. She interrupts.
My background is I do social media for a local blogger here actually in Charleston. I do video editing. I'm also an artist.
She is. You better, swipe up. Swipe up to subscribe. StudioCaroline.co. We'll hit it at the end.
I love how you plug me before I would ever.
I will literally tattoo it on my titties. I will tattoo it on my titties. I believe in Carol more than I believe in myself, and that's why we just keep on trucking, because she would say the same to me.
Number 1 hype man.
Mm-hmm. Oh my god. If you could get paid, and you guys, please let me know if you can. If you can get paid to be basically DJ Khaled without that being able to rap, like if I could just my whole life away, God, would I be rolling in the
my god. Yeah, you really are my
Let's just say, if I had a baby, yes, he'd also have his own album. Yes. As you, yeah. Bye, can't talk. Anyway, Carol.
Can't talk. Decides to do
Carol,
a podcast.
How about you tell me to shut the fuck up and continue on with your story?
Anyways, so since this podcast is like about anxiety, I'm gonna give you a little quick synopsis of my rundown of life of always having anxiety. So yeah, for me, the first time I ever was like, oh shit, I have anxiety was my best friend Gabby.
Name drop.
Name dropping Gabby.
We love her.
She I remember she was like, yeah, I found out I have anxiety, and I started taking meds for it, and
when was this? What year? Because I think that's key in this generation of we as millennials. We're on the cusp of, oh shit, you guys, we're all not okay. We're all not fine.
Yeah, so it was definitely I feel like growing up, it was still really stigmatized, mental health. At least maybe it was just the people I was around, the way I was raised. Not even, but I think it was just I always, maybe it was just me, like, or movies, like,
Yeah, let's blame ourselves.
thought-
That's always good.
No, but, like, I think that, like, I was always just, like, the only people who have mental health, like, problems, like, are crazy people. But she was like, yeah, you know, I don't have anxiety. This was, to answer your question, this was, I want to say, sophomore year of high school.
Okay, that's a big year.
It was like, she was like, yeah, you know, I started to take meds for my anxiety and I feel better, whatever. And that's when I first was like, okay, so it's not just like people in the movies, like crazy mental breakdown at a mental hospital somewhere, people who need meds, like normal people, like my best friend, need them too.
But will you bedazzle my straitjacket when that day comes? Like, I just don't want it to be any other straitjacket. Will you please, like, keep me
For
shining
sure.
no matter what?
For sure.
Thank you.
How to bedazzle it.
Paint me, like, whatever. I don't even care.
But yeah, so then but then once I like heard her kind of say that, and she was like, I kind of reflected and I was like, you know, people had always kind of pigeonholed me as like, oh, she's shy, but I think it was anxiety. Like I would always be so scared of like the first day of school, like, oh, who am I gonna sit with at lunch? And I would stew over it for days. Group projects were always like instant anxiety. Another thing I do that you're like, yeah, you have anxiety, man, is watching the same TV show.
Disturbed. You guys think you like The Office? How about you take your little high horse and ride it on into, like, you just can't even level with Carol. This girl has watched Michael Scott
So many times.
I don't think there's enough hands in the world to count that on.
You know Billie Eilish? She's like,
I've heard of her.
do you know who that is? She is like apparently like the biggest Office fan. I just watched a video with Keegan this weekend actually, and he was like, it was her with Rainn Wilson, who plays Dwight in The Office, asking her like trivia questions about The Office, and I was like naming them off like before she did, and she's like the biggest Office fan. I was like, yeah, Billie Eilish doesn't have shit on me. You might be famous, super successful.
So cool that you recorded like a Grammy sweep of an album
But
in
I know
your
The Office
childhood
better than
home,
you.
but don't you dare even like try to top the amount of like spirals I've had that Dwight's held me through. Don't even try.
Yeah, big on the comfort factor of watching the same TV show.
No, it really is disturbing, you guys. I hope you guys can relate. Because personally, don't get me wrong. I've absolutely rewatched things. I mean, What a Girl Wants. I mean, is it problematic that Amanda Bynes was my biggest role model? Does that explain more than anyone will ever know? Maybe. But don't get me wrong. Yes, same. But this girl, it took her years to even watch any other show, I feel like. I feel like I would beg you and be like, I almost took it offensively.
Remember when you showed me Veronica Mars?
Don't even bring her into this. Do not bring Veronica into this. Yes, I am obsessed with Veronica Mars, and Carol, I was genuinely offended that you were like, nope, sorry, don't really watch anything but The Office.
I don't watch nothing but The Office. That's not true.
She's come a long way.
But then, at that time in my life, I needed the comfort.
All right, yeah, whatever.
But yeah, anyways.
I'll give you a break on that one.
And then, like, the first time I went to therapy was in college. I'm not sure what year. I want to say it was junior year of college. And it was, like, some guy from a church.
That's always a good call.
He did, like, the kind of, like, relaxation techniques where you, like...
You touch your boob.
No. He was a very nice man. Shocking, because it was probably like a Catholic church, you know.
We revealed.
But
I
wasn't a young boy.
Oh
enough.
no, Carol, we revealed some of our opinions. Stop it.
But yeah, so that's kind of like just quick run through of my life with anxiety. Kat, do you wanna give us tell us about you?
Me? That's so funny. So weird. My whole mind just went completely blank about anything I've ever done in my
tell me about you.
whole entire life. In my whole entire life, I'm kind of like...
Is it on the back?
Yeah.
Is it on the back of the sheet of paper?
Yeah, paper, not gonna help here. Me, myself, and I
We're all on the edge of our seat.
Okay, well, a little about me is I am petless and alone. In comparison to Carol's intro, I do not have pets. I do not have love in my life. I have a barren wound of just truly, like, I am very good at getting people to, like, run away from me. Now, I don't know. I guess for anxiety-wise, well, I'm Kat. First of all, which we went over, and now she's rambling because she's panicking because I have to talk about myself, and that is something that I'm not great at, but here we are.
You're doing great, sweetie.
Thank you, Carol. Okay. Moral of the story is... Also, you guys, I feel like I should mention, like, you know how anxiety always comes with, like, a number 2? If you don't know that, well, here you learn something new every day. When I was diagnosed, I got the little... Oh, and you also have a lot of ADHD. So please...
So that's what's wrong with me.
Please forgive me when I start 18 sentences at once and never come back to them. But
yeah, let us know if we start a story and don't finish it, because it happens literally every conversation we have.
You can slide so crisply into our DMs, like a little fall leaf falling on the ground. Yeah, well, Carol actually lives in Charleston. I live in New York, so... This is an exciting event because we...
Long distance friends.
Yes. We did a photo shoot this weekend, and that is why we're recording our first episode together. But from here on out, they will mostly be, you know, not together.
Ugh, don't... My heart just ripped out of my chest.
It sucks when you meet, like, a friend that you know you're so close to, and it feels like you've known them forever. And then you kind of have to grow up and accept that you're not all going to live in the same place.
Yeah, I think that is an excellent segue into the story of how we met. So we thought it would be fun to kind of go through my perspective of meeting Kat for the first time, and then Kat's perspective of meeting me for the first time, because Kat has a little bit of a memory problem.
Okay, I like to call it early onset Alzheimer's, but I'm no doctor. I also have never touched marijuana in my life, so I can't imagine.
Never.
I can't imagine why. Like, it's even worse than it should be.
No, but I'll kick it off with the story because I definitely remember so many more details.
She's actually offended at the amount of details that I do not recall.
I'll be like, remember when we did this and it was so lovely? And
but
she's
again,
like, nope.
Again, I was never a Girl Scout, but if I was, I would have gotten a badge in... Shit, that's that ADHD thing I was telling you guys about. I tapped one table and then thought about, fuck, I can't tap the table. And then I completely forgot what I was going to say. Yeah, no, don't know. You should keep going because, uh-oh.
Okay, so I'll go ahead and tell you my version of the story.
Please,
sounds like
take it away, Care Bear.
When it's really just the most beautiful tale of all time.
It was a dark and stormy night.
So there's a little bit of backstory necessary for this. So my senior year of high school, my family moved to Birmingham, Alabama, and because of that. What?
No, I'm just laughing because they will soon learn how much I hate Alabama. I mean, anyone from Alabama, I love you, embrace you, heart you. I'm not judging you. I'm not generalizing, even though I am generalizing.
No, but we're about to shit on Alabama.
Yes. Trigger warning about to shit on Alabama. Roll Tide for don't know. Okay.
Especially, like, honestly, the whole state of Alabama. But, I mean, beautiful parks. Beautiful hiking.
Oh, my God. Hikes, just glorious.
Hate the state, hate the school. Anyways,
we had high expectations, and let's just say we did little preview, bond over them all crumbling to the absolute ground.
So I moved to Birmingham about a crisp 3 days after I graduated high school. So you can just imagine that. But I knew my whole senior year that my family was gonna move to Birmingham. My dad got a new job. He had already moved, and we were gonna move as soon as I graduated high school. My parents, they do love me enough to not make me move my senior year of high school, and thank God, because I think I would never have forgiven them.
She just actually forgave them last year.
Sorry, Mom. I held the resentment this whole time. So yeah, I knew that I was going to be moving to Birmingham, so I looked like the only school I really applied to was the University of Alabama. I was at that point in my life just I knew I had to go to college. Didn't really want to yet, but like I knew I would, like that's what you're supposed to do. And I was like, okay, fine, I'll go to University of Alabama, whatever. So I went in super blind. I thought about joining a sorority, but I was like, right, the word.
We'll get there.
Oh yeah. I thought about joining a sorority, but then I was like, you know what? No, I'm gonna go in not joining a sorority. Like I just made that decision, and that was a big decision that I didn't know was a big decision. So I move in to my dorm, on bid day. So if you don't know what bid day is,
Cue
Thank
horror
God.
music.
if that word literally doesn't send like chills, it doesn't for me. Because I wasn't joining a sorority, but I know in the South, bid day is a huge deal. I think Kat's gonna elaborate a little bit more on how sororities work. At the
Kat doesn't
University
hold
of
any
Alabama.
grudges at all. Never. I don't hold on to things.
She's gonna elaborate a little bit more than I can because she knows way more than I do. But so I moved in on bid day. Bid day is basically when people they're at the University of Alabama. Rush is a week long, and at the end of the week you figure out which sorority you're in, and it's like a huge deal. People screaming in the middle of the street, like wearing their bid day jerseys, which are these big baggy like t-shirt things that have your letters of your sorority just plastered across the front. Like you're branded.
Looks so innocent in the moment and like fun, but if you slowed it down and put in horror music, my God, would you have an Oscar award-winning horror movie?
Yeah, you got to write that movie.
Oh.
But
Hey, ma'am, it's in the works. By the way, I do film. I forgot to tell that. We drank champagne episode 1. Not good. Anyway, continue.
so, anyways, I went into this whole picking this school and deciding, oh, I'm gonna go here. So blind. I had no idea the sororities were so big there. And so move in on bid day. The streets are shut down because it's bid day.
You
and
sound like
that's a
Meghan
huge
Markle,
deal.
who claims she didn't Google Harry Styles or Harry whatever.
Oh, Prince Harry.
You're like, I went to the University of Alabama, but I had no idea that they had giant sororities.
But I really didn't. I was so
innocent, so sweet.
blind.
So blind.
So I move in, and I'm with my mom and my dad. They help me move in. We unpack our stuff. There's no one in our hall of the dorm because I'm the only one who didn't rush and wasn't doing bid day on our hall, like on our floor. And that's when I realized, like, oh shit, like everyone's in a sorority, and I'm wicked the minority. So I'm unpacking my stuff, and then my roommate comes in. And she is in her bid day jersey. It's like a tri-delta, the little 3 triangles, whatever.
Inside.
Tri-delta.
Nope. Sorry, I will stop doing the ADHD interruption. Continue.
No, you can interrupt me.
Oh, really? Thank you so much. You're so
Yeah,
sweet.
you have my
Oh,
permission.
she's so nice to me.
My roommate rocks in with her bid day jersey. She's so excited about her sorority. And then the 2 girls in our hall come in. They're wearing the same bid day jersey of the Tri-Delta. And I'm just like, okay, so everyone around me is in the same sorority, and I'm in no sorority, and apparently sororities are a big deal. Like, my anxiety, like, turned on. I was like, oh, shit, I made the wrong choice not joining one of these things. So, the second I met them, one of the first things they said to me was, oh my gosh, we can't wait for you to meet Kat.
All right.
Oh, Catherine.
Oh, yes. It was an evolution. We'll talk about it one day.
They're like, we can't wait for you to meet Kat. She's so funny. I kind of had told them, like, oh, I paint. I'm creative. That was a weird intro. Like, I was like, hi, my name's Caroline, and I like to paint. Literally.
Plugging yourself before plugging was like a real thing.
And they were like, probably like, what the fuck? But no, they were like, you gotta meet Kat. Like, obviously they knew I was gonna meet you, and they were like, yeah, her roommate isn't here yet.
She never. That's a story.
That's a story, and your roommate, but
She's a mystery. Never met her. Never came.
but they're like, yeah, she lives right next to you, and she's so funny. She's so creative. You guys are gonna be fast friends.
She's just like you, not a tried out like us. She actually rushed and got cut, so you guys will totally bond. Loser alert.
Yeah, but it was like, that was the first thing I ever heard about you, was she's so funny and she's so creative. And honestly, they weren't lying.
But what lie did I tell them?
For people
Like, where did they get that?
for people who had just met you, they knew you so well.
That's like, yeah, interesting. Because
Yeah.
I'm like turtle until I'm like, okay, I guess I can talk to you guys. Okay, you guys seem cool.
But yeah, so that's like the first thing I ever heard about Kat. And so they go off, they go to their like retreat or whatever it is at the end of midday.
Where the sorority scoops you away.
They take you
no
off
bitterness at
campus.
all. Take you truly away and tell you all the things you're not allowed to do ever again.
Yeah, like here's your rules. Anyways,
Don't be a little slut.
that's pretty much the gist of it.
Pretty much.
But yeah, so then I get I'm unpacking my stuff, I'm organizing my stuff with my parents, and there's a little knock on the door, and Kat's mom like peeks her head in. I can visualize
my mom.
it.
No, not Kat. My mom.
Yeah,
Because Kat's like
Kat's
pooping
mom.
her pants in her like stool on her bed. I don't know. I was not okay.
Little knock at the door, peeped her head in. She's like, hi, oh my gosh, you must be Caroline. Because they had the names on the doors when you move in, so you can learn
course,
everyone's
of
name.
course.
Thank God they did. Remember, this is a side note, remember the sorority would put like a little, their symbol.
You
were
Make sure
literally-
everyone felt like
branded.
as alone as they could possibly feel if they
you're not.
didn't do it. Yes. But also, if the positive side is making the person that got in feel special.
Yeah,
like,
that's the
I'll
point.
stop being this bitter.
not holding on to any resentment.
Yeah, I mean, I have some opinions,
But her mom was like small chat with like my parents. My mom immediately loved her. I remember she was like, oh, Kat's mom is really nice. Because she invited me to dinner. She was like, me and my daughter Catherine, and I was like, okay, Catherine is the one
hi, that's me.
that like I was just told was so funny and creative, and we would be best friends. Want you to come to dinner with us?
Wearing a headband, my god. The phase of headbands I went through in freshman year is so scary.
Your Blair
Anyway.
Waldorf
Oh
phase.
my god.
But she invited me to dinner with her. She's like, we're gonna go to Buffalo Wild Wings. Like, you should come. You should come. And I was like, oh, my mom was like, yeah, she'll go. Like, because I would have been like anxious, like, oh, I mean, I don't know, I have plans,
Our
even
moms,
though I don't.
our literal mom socializing
Saved-
for us.
yeah.
Anxiety before we even like bonded over it.
Yeah. So she invites me out to dinner. I say yes. And then I don't remember exactly the logistics, but somehow I got your phone number. And they were like, we'll
the
text you
diggies.
when we come to pick you up. So my parents leave, and I'm alone in this dorm room, unpacking, organizing my closet. My roommate's gone. Everyone on my hall, gone. I am alone in this dorm room, and it's my first night away at college. And I'm like, I get dressed, I do my makeup, I do my hair, I put on the outfit. I remember exactly what I was wearing. I was wearing
I don't even remember this day, and this girl remembers exactly what she was wearing.
exactly denim. No. They were the white eyelash.
Please get it perfect
eyelet.
for everyone.
The white eyelet shorts, pulled up boat neck navy and white striped tee, 3/4 length
We're a
sleeve,
visual podcast.
tucked in, flats, and I literally I sat on my bed and sat on my phone
This
and
is
was
so
like,
mean to do to me.
I was just like, wonder when I'm gonna get the text. I was also, this is the anxiety part,
Evil to set it up like this. I am about to look.
turning our pretend audience against you.
Yeah.
No.
Hey guys.
But so I'm like on my phone, like waiting, but I'm also having a panic attack. I'm like, I'm so nervous to do this. I don't want to, I mean, I did want to do it because I wanted to make friends, but like, I was like, I don't want to do this. Like hyperventilating a little bit, like wanting you to text me, but dreading it at the same time. And then I get a text from you and you're like, hey, sorry, it was like 8 p.m. I had already eaten the other half of my sandwich from lunch earlier. I was like, I give up. Like, I like put sweatpants on. I was like, okay, I give up. This girl's not
this is
texting
burning
me.
my soul, but yeah, let's keep going. Sure. Fucking shit.
But then I'm like,
I'm so good at making friends.
so I got the text that she wasn't coming, and I was like, okay, like kind of relieved. My anxiety was like, okay, whew. But then I just remember I just like went to bed. Like I probably watched an episode of The Office
Yep.
on my
We know
laptop
you did.
in bed, and then turned the lights off and just probably cried myself. Not because of the dinner, but because so scary to like be alone that night. Like I was completely alone. There was no one on my hall.
And when it's not your bed, there's something so dark about
And I was like,
that.
it kind of hit me like, this is my life for the next year. I'm going to be living here 2 feet away from another person who's not here yet. And thank God, because I'm not ready.
It is a lot to take in. Like, you not only are meeting a new person, you are sleeping next to them.
A complete stranger.
That's insane. That's like actually insane.
Yeah, but then the next day, I wake up, I make coffee on my little coffee mate brewer that I still have to this day.
She's fancy.
It was like a really shitty, cheap one my dad gave to me. But yeah, I like made the coffee. You knocked on my door, popped your little head in just like your mom.
I pooped.
Popped your little head in just like your mom did and were like, hi, like I'm Kat. Like you
My mom made me do this.
I don't necessarily remember, but I feel like you probably were like, I'm so sorry about last night, like whatever. Like I feel like you definitely prefaced it.
Oh, I'm
and
such a word vomit. I was like, I'm the worst. I'm the worst.
And
I'm a
then
liar too.
You were commenting on, I had set up that night my bulletin board of like hanging pictures of my friends. You're like, I love Polaroids. Like it was, I had the little Instax. You're like, and we started to like talk about art and we started to bond. And it was like the most natural friendship I've ever like really had. I feel like where it was
That
like
past life shit.
The second I met you, we flowed so well. And then you were like, you had already been there. She's going to explain in a second for like a week. So you knew campus and you were like, you knew the campus and you were like,
what was
showing me, you were like, I know all the best dining hall, the best this.
I'm kind of like the shit, and I kind of know where to get some French fries.
Pretty much. But yeah, so then we walked to the dining hall.
Pretty
and
far
we
away,
talked.
Really
It was
trapped you.
You did. You trapped me on this
I
walk.
flipped. I was ready to talk to you.
You trapped me on this walk, and it was just like the fastest friends. Like there was never a moment on our walk where it was like awkward silence, a pause, like, and I just knew. I was like, this girl's like, thank God I met her immediately because I would have died. And we can go a little bit more into depth on like our freshman year because it's a great wild ride of a story.
We learned a lot about
ourselves,
each other, growth.
But that's my point of view of how we met. Why don't you start at like why you were there for a week before me?
Oh,
you know,
you want me to tell them about my darkest days? No, I'm just kidding. If those are my darkest days, I'm doing pretty good.
Give a quick rundown of Sorority Rush. The quickest rundown ever.
Oh God! Basically,
at the University of Alabama, it's different everywhere.
Different everywhere. So I'm in film, and like my expectations are so in the dreamland of like picturing my entire life as a movie to the point that I picked my school based on films. I visited so many campuses with my parents because let's just say the ADHD anxiety didn't help my GPA. I didn't have a good GPA at all. I brought it up junior year because I was like, oh shit, I like have to get into college. And it was fine, but my parents were very like nice and brought me as many places as possible. They never made me feel shitty for not being good at school. But basically, thank God, no offense, but pretty not too hard to get into Alabama. But
they kind of take anyone.
Not too hard, not too, hey, let's not get too, come on, we're so smart and
girl,
perfect.
they let me in.
We're so smart and perfect. We're literally...
Did not have a 4.0 for sure. Think I had a 2.8.
Oh no, I was just being hard on myself. I had like a 4.0, but I wish I had a 4.800. No, I don't even know because I can't even remember numbers, so that, But the thing is, I pictured it truly in my head, like I'm little Sydney White, bring back in Amanda Bynes. The mansions, the beautiful green grass, the warm weather.
Campus.
Oh, the campus,
gorgeous.
I will stand by the campus forever. But let's just say the expectations were high and the dreams were crushed. I mean, it was everything. It's like that shit where you're like, oh, it's everything on paper, but in reality, it's not it. And kind of me and Carol bonded through the realization of, well, Carol always knew she didn't want to be there, but we bonded through like shit, like this is what we got and this is where we are and let's just get through it together. But
yeah,
I did go through Rush, because part of this vision that I had, my parents met and fell in love in sororities and fraternity in a, like, you know, at the same school.
Yeah.
And so like that shaped it so hard where I was like, yep, picture perfect, me next.
Yeah, like, just want to be just like mom and dad.
Yes. And that is like also a huge part. Like, I love my parents, but that is the first thing that I was like, your parents are not always, or you're not supposed to be just like your parents. Like, they're not always right, and everything's whatever. But yeah, let's just say it didn't work out in my favor. My mom was actually in a really, like, considered a good sorority. They wanted very good GPAs, and they cared about that. And let's just say your girl did not get in.
Well, what was, like, the process like?
Horrible.
Like, just quick, like...
Torture.
Because it's, like, each day you have to do a different round, basically, where they're, like... They're trying to figure out if they want you, and you're trying to figure out if you want them.
It's genuinely a week of people judging you, but you don't even get to know. I don't know what would be worse if you genuinely knew. I don't know. I think I always would rather just know. I don't know. But it is a week of standing outside in the muggiest, hottest weather.
So humid.
In Lily fucking Pulitzer dresses. And you're in alphabetical order, all lined up. Like, it's a fucking, like, darker than the military. Not really, but you know what I mean. And
you
like, you're
fuck with
going
the war?
into a goddamn battle. You fuck with the war? Sorry, lawyer, little Dicky. But, and then like a door just fucking bursts open, and there's a bunch of girls perfectly stacked on top of each other screaming their song to you.
That is
And
insane.
It's
Go YouTube right now if you don't know what we're talking
but
about.
after
Alabama.
you're done with the episode. No,
Yes.
YouTube it after. We're perfect. Don't leave.
Alabama.
Please don't leave us.
Door song.
We have codependency issues. Yeah, horrifying. But it
So
made
you
my
went through
singing
that.
voice perfect. Yes, and I got cut. I mean, I got fucking cut. I
You made it kind of far, right?
yeah, she got there. But in
You
the
didn't
end,
get cut day one.
No. I made it through.
How
the
many
week.
days in were you when you got cut? I don't really remember.
I don't know. Like, there's rounds.
Did you make it to pref?
Yes.
Really?
But, like,
That's
I
the second
think
to
I only
last,
had
right?
like 2 left, and then they were just like, I didn't. I got cut the night before midday, I think. So like,
What?
I got
You
like,
did?
I got cut on the last round, so like I didn't have to like because
I didn't know that.
Well, bid day is basically at Alabama. You go to the football stadium, and they stall it for so long. You have to like sit on the card that says what sorority you got, because like you'll list your top 3, and if your number one like picks you too, then that's the one you get. But if it doesn't, it'll like automatically give you whoever else picked you out of your top 3. And like some girls, like, I still don't know if this is real, but they claim that the dorm that was mostly sorority people that would go on suicide watch after Rush, because like all these girls are born and bred
You're gonna be
in what their mom was in. And
Yeah.
like my mom never pushed it. She genuinely was like, join whatever you want. Of course, she loved that I did eventually, spoiler alert, get into Chi-O, but you know.
That's a whole other story.
Whole other
of how
fucking
we actually
story.
both ended up in a sorority.
Genuinely a whole other story, and we'll revisit it one day, but we really don't want to overwhelm this first episode with a fucking sorority talk, because it couldn't be less of who we are. And like, now that I do live in New York, sorry, that sounds fucking annoying, but
Now that I
I'm
live in
embarrassed to
Brooklyn.
say it. Yes, I'm embarrassed.
I give Kat so much shit because she's always like, I live in Brooklyn. I'm like, wait, really? Do you? Because you only bring it up every single time we talk.
I'm from Boston,
From
and
Boston.
I live in Brooklyn.
Yeah, I never heard it.
And talk about a fucking badass bitch if I ever heard of one.
Brooklyn never heard of it. Boston never heard of
Toot
it.
toot my own horn. No, I'm kidding. But it is funny, like, that I started so kind of identified and like, ooh, I'm in a sorority. This is awesome. I feel cool. And now I'm embarrassed by that very fact. We come a long way, but basically,
So you got cut right before.
bawled my
like
eyes
the day
out.
before we met, right?
Yes, bawled my eyes out so much, so much, to a point where it really is a good bring in like our whole overarching theme of this podcast, which is like hindsight's 2020. In the moment, it genuinely feels like the world,
End of
like,
the world.
you feel ugly, you feel gross, you feel rejected. And it sucks, especially because it is mostly based, like, I mean, they don't know that much about you unless
It's
they
all
knew you
small talk.
before. Yeah, and it feels shitty to get cut from many people. And as much, it was my GPA too, you guys, like, I'm so great. Oh god, but I cried a lot, to the point that my mom was so nice at first, and then at like hour 3 she was like, how about you kind of like get over it though.
When did your mom get there? Cause she was like gonna come no matter what.
That's
right?
what's actually so sad. I completely forgot about this. My parents, I had to say goodbye to my parents first time going away. Like, I never went to camp. I was such a, even knowing I had anxiety, I was so anxious. So I had never really gone away, and besides, whatever. And I had to say goodbye to my parents when I was all dressed up, mascara fucking on, to go to Rush.
The first.
Yes. And like, talk about anxiety. My parents could see me from my dorm window walking, and they're so not anxiety people. They saw a girl like a foot in front of me, and they called me and they go, hey, go up to that girl. Go introduce yourself. Go have a buddy.
way.
I was like, you guys, please. Like,
I'm going through a lot right now, Mom and Dad.
please stop. But basically, I had to say goodbye to them when I like couldn't cry. Like,
And then
makeup.
and then you went through the
And so
whole
the
rush
sad
thing.
part is my mom was coming to surprise me on bid day.
Oh, you didn't know she was coming?
She had never gone all the way back to Boston. My dad did, but my aunt had a house in like fucking Florida, so she went and stayed there. And
That's
I
so
didn't
sweet.
know. And she claims to this day, I was coming to comfort you if you didn't make it, and to be there excited if you did. But I mean, she wanted me to make it. She
Yeah.
thought it was going to be a celebration.
She thought you'd be popping bottles.
Yeah, so that's why she was there holding me through my
That's why
tears.
she invited me to dinner.
So, yes, basically my mom is truly my polar opposite. Like, not a bone. She gets anxious, like, we're going to the airport, we gotta get there 2 hours in advance, like,
Same.
normal anxiety. But she's not truly anxious, so she was knocking on everyone's dorm door. And it was, like, when it was the beginning, so everyone's door was open. It wasn't even really knocking. And she kept going in, like, hi, this is my daughter, Catherine. And I would awkwardly trail behind her, like, Catherine. And
Love your mom was like, no, I'm gonna make you some friends.
no, genuinely, she probably didn't have the heart to leave me there, knowing I would just sit in my dorm hoping for the best.
What a great mom.
Because, like, I start to this day, like, I almost jokingly, as a joke, my old boss, like, claimed he was gonna fire me from a film job because I was so nervous. It was my first film job when I moved to New York, that I just, like, when I first meet people, I cannot come out of that overthinking headspace. Everything I think in
Yeah.
my head just won't come out of my mouth. And once I am comfortable with people, I don't shut the flying fuck up, which you learned the hard way. And he was like, once we got to know each other, he was like, yeah, we were pretty sure we were ready to fucking fire your ass. We didn't think you spoke. We didn't think you, like, spoke any words. So it still haunts me a little bit. I mean, the older I get, the more I am comfortable immediately. But let's just say, full friggin' mime with you. Like, my mom was just, like, trying to force it, and I was like, could you, like, fucking stop? So I don't fully remember, but I know for a fact, just me being me, so sorry that you were waiting makeup on your bed, but I'm sure I was like, I can't turn it on. I can't turn it on right now and, like, have to make I want her to be my friend, and
I
I'm
didn't
gonna make
know
a
all
bad
that.
impression. And that's what's so beautiful, that, like, we didn't know we also equally were overthinkers, that, like, to look at it now, and that's why we wanted to tell you guys this little story.
I never had any idea that, like, you were even, like, I never even crossed my mind you were, like, how heartbroken you were, because I didn't know you at all,
yes.
you know? I was also not mad when you canceled. It was like when you make plans and you hope someone's going to cancel. Anyone, if you can relate to that, that's my life.
That's anxiety, but deep down, you probably were like, I feel so alone, and I would love to talk to people, even though you were relieved. Yeah.
When you came over to my room that first time, were you nervous?
Oh, I'm sure.
Like, do you remember that?
Nope.
Or you don't remember talking in our dorm room, my dorm room? At all?
I remember,
You remember
like,
walking to Lakeside, we talk about that.
that I remembered. I remember sitting at there, but, like,
I don't remember us eating, actually.
I
at
think
all.
when I'm nervous, I just, like, genuinely black out.
yeah.
So I, like, it's there, but I couldn't give you a single detail.
Yeah.
I really could not.
Yeah.
I really, really could not. And I when I went to college, like, I hadn't not drank, but, like, I was pretty much a goody gumdrop. Like, I drank, but not really. Like, I hadn't drank really till my senior year of high school, because I was like, I love being the DD. I don't need alcohol. I'm having a great
remember
time.
that was, like, your
Which is so opposite of
That was
me
your
today.
brand.
Couldn't be more opposite. But I don't know. I've always been a late bloomer, and I think I mean, I know that is anxiety without knowing it was.
Yeah.
And
For
probably a
sure.
learning fucking deficiency that's in there too. But I don't know. I just ADHD, ding, ding, ding. Can we have like a little noise in the future every time I go off into ADHD, like a cute little make up for it noise? Sorry, everybody. I know I just started like a whole sentence, but oops, it's gone.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, truly, like that's really all I can say because I love how we remember it so differently and the same. Like we both had anxiety, and I think we should say anxiety 8 more times. But
It's our buzzword, Dorina.
it's nice when you look back on things and in the moment you're like, it's just me, I'm crazy, and it's like, oh, how weird, the other person was feeling the exact same way, and
Yeah.
everything is pretty much fine.
I was about to say, like, I feel like that's like the whole point of the podcast, like our whole vision is like there's so many times where we're like the world is ending, everything around me is terrible, and then
Someone's
it
strangling
turns out
me.
fine.
Well, that's a wrap. That's it for episode 1.
Go listen to part 2 of episode 1 if you want to hear me ruin my own life. It's so funny. It's like I have the power to make myself sound cool, and I just took that power and I chucked it out the window.
You can follow us at Pretty Much Fine Pod on Instagram, Pretty_Much Fine on Twitter, and Pretty Much Fine on YouTube. Bye!
Toodles. See you later.